Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Impeachment, APC moves to stop PDP, lawmakers gang up. Security Council admits Nigeria seeking self-help. Rivers to vote only PDP governor, says government. Non-remittance of dollars by NNPC behind Naira crisis, says CBN. Alaafin ruling house summons meeting over illegal aspirants. FG to sanction BBC Trust TV for glorifying bandits. Hanifa's killer teacher to die by hanging. Okay, let's start with the...
Let me start with...
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start with the federal government saying that the BBC and Trust TV will be sanctioned and will not go unpunished for the recent documentary that they did on the bandits. The minister said that the way in which it was conducted sort of offered these bandits, a platform, and that if everyone knows worldwide, globally, that the media is like an oxygen to terrorism and banditry, and that the way that they went about it, it was peculiar because this is Nigeria, that they would not do it, in other advanced countries. Sort of like they took advantage or they did not respect the fact that we also have a regulatory body that is supposed to look into it. Anyway, the minister says MBC is looking into it and they'll make sure that they serve some sanctions for this. And if they are not registered here in Nigeria, whatever signals that they were sending over here will be stopped completely.
Interesting. Kadera Ahmed wrote an article on this, and she used a description saying that imagine a family, you're already traumatized, that your abductor has taken your child, and your child is even still living through that trauma. And then her abductor, the person that abducted her, is then being interviewed by BBC.
Like
the trauma that the family would go through, just seeing that person itself, that it's wrong for them to even put that in our faces in the first place. But we'll see how that goes.
Okay, so
let's take another story.
The Security Council, Nigerians, National Security Council, yesterday after their meeting, and the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongono, was saying that, we're close to seeking help. He said, following this worsening insecurity, and I think following the call by the Northeast elders for their call for him to resign or be sacked, he was now responding that, what he calls an effective society approach will be used to combat insecurity. And the Defense Headquarters also joined voice to say that in Abuja, following the Sunday attack, where 6 officers were killed, and 2 officers and 6 soldiers were killed. He said that they're doing everything to abate the situation. There's call for calm, that they are re-strategizing how to, for me, I read this article just in the hope, that what we are seeing will be reduced in some form, but it's almost like the usual narrative where they will say something is being done and it is closed because it is a security issue, and
we cannot hear
we'll then see any further attacks. The NSCDC's attack, a list of cities to be attacked is something that worries us, because now Lagos too, rain will fall on top of our head according to it. So I need a reassuring comment from them, not just this type.
Comment.
Okay, so the Central Bank of Nigeria said yesterday that non-remittance of dollars to foreign reserves by the NNPC is what is responsible for the Naira's free fall in the official and parallel markets. They said at the close of day yesterday, the Naira traded for 700 to $1 at the parallel market and 415 to $1 at the official market. And they had to make a report saying that the NNPC and the subsidiaries are the sole managers of the crude oil account, which is about 80% of Nigerians' foreign exchange. And so far, they have not been able to, put dollars in that foreign exchange account. So that's the excess crude account, which they said has been depleting since the month of May. And, the excess crude account is basically supposed to be a saving buffer for steady government revenue, and which is supposed to serve as bailout if anything happens in the economy. But they are saying now that they are not able to put money. There's been $0 remittance into the account. And also the fact that we are depending solely on foreign exchange. So According to the bank, it said Nigeria earns foreign exchange from 4 sources, which is the oil export proceeds, non-oil export proceeds, diaspora remittances, and foreign direct investments. And the fact that there's a lot of demand for the dollar. We have people who want to get just what we discussed yesterday, basically. And that's the reason. I was thinking they would say something like, this is some of the policies we're going to put in place to enable NNPC remit dollars to this account, but I didn't get that.
Well, we'll see that. I was going to take the major headlines. So I took the story of the fact that the senators and the PDP are giving the president 6 to 8 weeks to do something about insecurity, or they're going to institute the impeachment proceedings against him. And then their counterparts in the National Assembly also joined them, that's the PDP in the National Assembly, also joined us saying that they agree. And they're also going to be instituting impeachment proceedings. However, the National Secretary of the APC, Senator Omishori, was saying that this is election season. The PDP senators are whipping up sentiments. They want to demarcate their party. And the Buhari administration, and also they're trying to politicize this entire process. And we'll see how that, and to compound that, the defense headquarters was saying that there is nothing to panic about following last Sunday's ambush on the Guards Brigade. You know what, they have a new strategy on what they plan to do. You know, their plan is to isolate, apprehend, and possibly prosecute all the enemies of the state who staged fatal attack. You see, we must really watch our rhetoric during this season.
True.
Because pictures don't lie. We know social media can go off, but we must really watch our rhetoric from all levels, from ground up, because to make it worse, let me not get to that story. The Governor El Rufai was saying that he was the one that broke the news to our president.
This is not what we should be hearing.
Broke the news to the president that these guys threatened you. Imagine
Are you telling us our president does not pay attention?
I don't understand.
Or he does not hear?
So when somebody says I'm impeaching you, they not even giving them more reasons
to impeach you.
Why you should be impeached. Moving on now to the punch.
Wow.
Presidential primaries, Buhari's ex-minister asked court to disqualify Tinubu and Atiku. We struggle to feed Toby and pay her fee, says Amusa's father. Government ticket tears Delta PDP apart, Ibori Okwa part ways. Kano school proprietor to die for killing pupil. Lagos leads as monkeypox spreads to 26 states. Lawmakers knock Buhari presidents meet security chiefs. Passengers groan as 1-hour flight hits 75,000 naira. 4.7 million get SIM after federal government's call ban. ADAX workers begin strike. Oil production shares to 22,000 barrels per day. Okay.
So good news, and a reassurance of justice. Within a period of less than a year, the Kano High Court, presided over by Justice Usman Nabas, sentenced Mr. Tanko Abdulmalik, the proprietor of that Noble Kids College, who kidnapped his own people and murdered the 5-year-old Hanifa to death by hanging, alongside his accomplices, and they had other charges. They were able to establish almost all the charges except one against his wife, who was given less than a year sentence for conspiracy, and I think another 1-year sentence for attempting to commit the offense. And so we know that justice was served in this. Okay. When a case is neatly investigated like this, this is what you get.
Another story?
Yeah, so update again from the NCDC, that's Nigerian Center for Disease Control. It has confirmed 136 cases of monkeypox in 26 states. A few deaths also have been recorded as of the latest report. I always read the report, but I think we should take some, I want to take some responses from stakeholders, and I think this is important. Some of the stakeholders are talking about vaccines, that people need to be vaccinated, and that if they are vaccinated, there will be fewer casualties. Monkeypox is endemic in Nigeria, and that the federal government needs to look into funding the health sector better so that we have our experts come up with vaccines instead of constantly waiting on foreign countries to come up with vaccines for us, especially as this is a recurring infection in our country.
Okay, I was going to take the story of Toby Amusan's father. So Punch had interviewed her father, and they were talking about how he initially did not support her her desire to go into sports. According to him, her mother was actually an athlete. She was a really good runner, and she got it from her mother. And yes, indeed, he burnt her shoes, as she had said, because he wanted her to be good education, focus on education, your doctor, lawyer kind of thing. But when families intervened and came to him and said, listen, let this girl be, he supported her with everything, and he's been monitoring her progress all this while. So he's very, very happy. And when the announcement was made, family, friends came to their house and celebrated with him. So
do you know what I would love? Do you know what I would love? If we have a Nollywood production on Tobia's story, it would be so amazing.
I've also understood that some of the people who have really made it by sort of disobedience to their parents, because the idea the parents had is only education because of what they have been exposed to. But some children insisted that this is my path. There's nothing to do about it.
This man had a point. He said in Nigeria, sports in Nigeria, like athletics in Nigeria doesn't get you.
She has a destiny.
I don't want to call it disobedience.
So
yes,
but
some
children
children
do it both ways.
That's what you call it at the time.
Let's go on a break. And we come back, we continue with our reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Yes.
Yes. So air travelers are having it very hard right now because the airfares have increased. As a result of, we know that the Jet A1 has increased tremendously. It used to be about 200, but now it's over 800 for that. And they said some of the passengers that were interviewed said 1 hour flight now goes for between 75,000 to 100,000 naira. A lot of them were complaining. One family was saying that he was planning to take his children to Abuja for the holiday, but right now he can't even afford to pay 154,000 naira from Lagos to Abuja. And a lot of them said the population that covers people who travel by air, mostly businessmen, where do they put all of this fund? Can they use all their business money to, go through the air transportation, where we know that the railways, people that have been abducted, we're still talking about it today. The roads are not really safe. And so government needs to do something to help the masses cushion the effects. Okay,
do something, do something. Need a PhD paper on this, do something.
Do something.
Reps join Senate seek Buhari's impeachment. Global economic crisis, U.S. economy enters recession as petrol sells for 1,488 naira per litre in the UK. Army kills 30 terrorists who attacked Guards Brigade. Workers raise the alarm over plots to destabilize psychiatric hospital. IPOB alleges plots by terrorists to kill Kano in detention. 2023 presidency, only Peter Obi can rescue Nigeria, says LP. Osun governor-elect task transition committee on indebtedness, terms of repayment. Okay, which story?
Russia-Ukraine war is taking a toll on global businesses, and the United States is not left out. They said they are technically plunging into recession as we speak. So according to data published by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis yesterday, they said the GDP growth rate dropped by 0.9% in 1 year. And this is also affecting not just U.S., but Canada and United Kingdom. And they are experiencing a serious increment in petrol price due to the global energy crisis and the Brent crude oil price. And they mentioned how much they are getting it now. So according to investigations, they said the average price of a liter of petrol hit $1.218 on Thursday, which is equivalent to 864 naira per litre. In Canada, the price of petrol is about 1.89 per litre, which is equivalent to 882 naira in Nigeria. UK as well, they are buying petrol now for 1.86 pounds, which translates to about 1,488 per litre. And, they just went on comparing. Even the OPEC countries are not left out. I'm wondering why they are giving us the equivalent in Nigeria. Is it that we need to know that we are not paying as high as... Yes, but their system of living, the standard of life is still better than what we have here. The issue, the issues here is affecting everybody globally. And everybody needs to look inwards to solve their problem. Don't tell us how much they are paying. You are not comparing our roads to their roads. You are not comparing our education to their education. Don't compare that. So please.
Comparison is okay.
Let us face us.
Please.
I know.
I was going to tell the story. Now I know why the defense headquarters was saying what they were saying, because now I'm reading a story. They actually killed 30 of the terrorists that attacked the guards brigade in Buari area of Abuja. According to the Defense Media Operations Major General Bernard Onyeko, it was very clear that 30 of them were killed and that the operations was conducted by the troops of the 7th Guards Battalion and 167 Special Force Battalion. And it was an operation well punched between Sunday and Tuesday. The troops successfully cleared the Kawu, Ido villages, neutralizing the terrorists, destroyed the enclave and hideout, and said the groups also recovered 6 motorcycles, 2 AK-47 rifles, and 1 fully loaded LMG. So that's why he's saying that it was an isolated situation where they had to attack.
You that, you know, the new threat of the 3 state cities to be attacked by, was released by the NSCDC, does this in any way reassure you? The fact is that the terrorists are getting emboldened. They are moving into the cities. They are getting stronger. They are attacking the military bases across the country. Does that you come and tell us after many 5 days that 30 people were also...
I'm sorry, I'm not a military person.
May they be unable to attack any of our bases?
They found only 2 AK-47.
So from where they went to the raid. Guys, these are
people who have rocket launchers and everything.
We know they wait for small wins to celebrate again now. We don't look for major wins. As it be now, nobody be small wins.
Thank God we thank, of course, the people of the military for their hard work.
Jesus, you guys are so hard.
No, things is scary.
I can understand. Any other stories, Daily Sun? Should I move on?
Move on.
Vanguard Insecurity Nigeria's Fed Up of People's Self-Help, says NSC. Subsidy payments, summer travel, students, exodus, worsen Naira depreciation, says investigation. I think we discussed that yesterday. Benin artifacts used defy rain protest against Obaseki's museum. FG unwilling to deal with insecurities at Feni Ferry. How Nigeria lost 131 airlines to poor management accidents in 62 years. Return to classroom or be sacked, El Rufai tells striking KASU lecturers. How ex-AGF orders stole 84.7 billion of the $2.2 billion meant for 9 oil proceeding states, says EFCC. Wike's presence necessary for final phase of PDP's reconciliation. And INEC's position on party primaries monitored by Rex, says Festus Okoye. Okay.
So EFCC gave a breakdown on how this 84.7 billion of the how the ex-AGF and others stole 84.7 billion of $2.2 billion meant for 9 producing states. So it's a full breakdown. It will take up too much time to break it down, but it's good for people to read. It names exactly the people that collected the money, how much they collected, and how it was transferred from Naira to dollars. But then they say, I think this is important, it says they invited the defendants, they reported and volunteered their statements under word of caution. They admitted receiving these monies, and the investigation is still underway to recover. And meanwhile, we know that the ex-AGF also secured a 5 billion Naira bail.
Okay.
So the Benin youth under the name Coalition of Benin Sociocultural Organizations are protesting against the governor's proposal of a dome museum for West African arts, MOA, that is supposed to house the returned artifacts. And they are proposing that instead of that, they should take up the Oba of Benin's idea of the Benin Royal Museum opposite the Benin Palace that would house this artifact. So the Oba of Benin had suggested to build a museum opposite this palace where the artifacts will be placed and be seen. And the governor has an idea of creating what he calls the Edo Museum of West African Art, which he believes will house it. So this youth are against the governor and protesting that they should follow the idea of the Oba of Benin and put the artifacts there.
So in addition to the story you took earlier, saying why the Naira to the dollar had increased, this report by Vanguard investigation was saying that additional factors caused it, aside from the fact that NNPC wasn't remitting. It says that other factors including forex demand for summer travels, exodus of Nigerian students and activities going schooling abroad, activities of politicians buying up dollars in preparation for 2023 elections. Those are the real factors.
I'm telling you.
Politicians, because we saw them displaying it at their primaries recently. So there was dollar there, and Nigerians are also mopping up dollars to pay for school fees by September.
True.
Many are traveling for the summer holidays also. So
I'm so happy that this article highlighted this because Nigerians can see the direct impact of these activities.
Somebody was saying yesterday that if you school abroad, right, and you live there, after you graduate, you live there and you work, and you remit, you're helping the Nigerian economy.
Yeah, someone said.
But if you school abroad, you come back, that money that took you there is
gone.
has gone, it's wasted.
Deplete the little one we are managing here.
We're hoping that when you come back, you're coming back with
So if you come back,
knowledge
you now grow, start a
and
business,
don't
you
come
help
for innovation.
But the truth is that
they come and take the
the
small jobs that we are
job.
hustling
So
for.
we have to really think about
There's this sad story before we
around
quickly
this.
move on. Olalekan Olaniyan, who in 2017 was unlawfully arrested for a crime he did not commit. So he said that particular, 3 days before, there was a robbery in their area, and they all went to sympathize with the people who were robbed. Only for that was his birthday. He heard a knock on the door and he was expecting his friends were coming to surprise him. And he saw policemen and some elders in the village saying that he was that he was needed at the police station. By the time he got there, he was accused of being one of the armed robbers. And before he understood what was happening, he was taken to SARS. They tortured him so much. He said he spent about 3 weeks there before they even took the matter to court and pulled all his front teeth. You know, till today, he doesn't have his front teeth. And now he spent how many years in jail?
This guy.
Yes. How many years? I think about 4 years before, I think a non-governmental organization helped and they got him out. So he's appealing to Nigerians now that he needs to be able to fix, even if it's the artificial one, because he really looks horrible with that teeth. He can't eat very well. He can't chew and all that. And he was not guilty of the offense.
Well, I wish there must be compensation.
Exactly. They're going to have to compensate him.
Absolutely.
No, there must be. And, you know, since the panel was put together, I hope that, you know, there's a...
He presented his case.
There's a class compensation that covers him.
Hopefully. That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.